Bob Schroer is a longtime Walnut Creek resident. He served the city as a volunteer firefighter, city council member for 16 years, county supervisor for 16 years, and has been mayor of Walnut Creek 3 times. In 1933, his father Ted Schroder started Schroder Insurance. Housed in the former Walnut Creek post office, Bob and his son Rob have operated their family business for more than 70 years on Main Street. With his wife Fran, he raised a family in Walnut Creek and has been part of the fabric of central Contra Costa County. Here are some stories and reflections of Bob's time in Walnut Creek.
My mother and father moved from San Francisco, and they were originally from Hawaii, where they were married, and then they moved to San Francisco. And 80 years ago, during the Depression, they moved to Walnut Creek. And my father was in the insurance business in San Francisco, and he commuted. 80 years ago, commuted from Walnut Creek to San Francisco. And he would walk to the train station, which is where the Civic Arts Theater is today, and take the train to 7th Street Mole Station and take the ferry boat over to the ferry building in San Francisco. And he did that every morning, came back every night. And I think he got a little tired of that and decided to move to his business, insurance business, to Walnut Creek. And he started in the back of a grocery store on Main Street. It was Acre's grocery store. And that's how we came to Walnut Creek and have been here ever since. Yes, I attended Walnut Creek Grammar School back in the 30s, and it was an 8-room schoolhouse, and it was built by the WPA back when in the Roosevelt era, I should say, and a fellow by the name of Sheldon Rankin eventually became superintendent of schools of an 8-room schoolhouse, and he was a teacher of mine. We had many very, very dedicated women, Mrs. McLaughlin and Mrs. Pertini, and many people taught the kids from the area. And Walnut Creek Schoolhouse was demolished and built in other locations, and that's when the hill was removed, and I think it was Simon's Hardware was the facility that was built where the new facility is located now. That Walnut Creek was a thriving commercial area, and people from Alamo, from Danville, Lafayette, and Concord, and of course Pleasant Hill wasn't there at the time, would converge on Walnut Creek and do their weekly shopping, and it was a pretty vibrant facility we had here. But Walnut Creek also had 2 very famous facilities. The first being the Walnut Growers Association plant, where walnuts from basically as far away as Stockton would be shipped to Walnut Creek to this particular plant and processed. And so that was a annual event. And the other interesting area was where, I guess it's the Target store now, which is on Main Street. There was a cannery, and it was the Walnut Creek Canning Company. And fruits and vegetables from the area outside of Walnut Creek also were processed in that particular facility. So that was a thriving business for Walnut Creek, processing walnuts and processing foods. Interesting, prior to our office burning down on Main Street, the Schroder family was involved with the volunteer fire department, which was the central fire district at that particular time. Now it's Contra Costa Consolidated. And my father was the first fire marshal, volunteer fire marshal for the City of Walnut Creek. And I was a member of the volunteer fire department and worked there for many, many, many years. Until my wife said it's time for you to quit being a volunteer. And then basically we became a paid department at that particular time. Bill Nottingham was the chief, along with a fellow by the name of Guy Spencer, who was the chief prior to Bill, and they were the only two paid firemen in the district for many, many years. It was all volunteer, and we put out a lot of fires in the area, a lot of building fires, and these hills that you see around Walnut Creek were really unpopulated and a lot of grass, and we had grass fires daily. Walnut Creek was flooded many, many times during the winter storms. The creek that we know and the town is named after is a creek. Of course, the walnut orchards and the creek. The creek that comes through Walnut Creek drains the entire San Ramon Valley, and in the heavy rains, the water would rush down the creek and eventually go out into Suisun Bay in the Martinez area. Well, the creek bank was not large enough to provide the water to flow easily, and it would overflow the banks and flood downtown Walnut Creek. And that was about a yearly experience that we had, until the Army Corps of Engineers came in and provided a new channel to the, that would be to the south of us in the Alamo area, Danville area, and which provided a channel to take care of the water that was being collected, and it stopped downtown Walnut Creek from flooding. But it was pretty serious because most of the stores were flooded every year, and it was nice to have the Army Corps of Engineers come and do what they did. The old nut house on Civic Drive, yes, was a walnut processing plant, and that was converted. When I was on the city council, we converted that facility to a theater, and that was the start of the arts in Walnut Creek. And in fact, when I was on the city council, we started the Civic Arts Commission. And the reason that we started a commission was that there was a conflict between the traditional artists and the modern artists. And there was a quite problem between those two facilities, or I should say those two organizations. And we decided to let's see what we can do to bring them together so they both can survive. And we did that, and at the same time we converted the theater and started the arts department for the City of Walnut Creek.
That's when you brought Gary Schaub in, right? One of the few, I think it was one of the very few cities that actually had a civic arts department.
Yes, we were the first city to have a civic arts department, and it's very thriving today, obviously. Yeah, back in the 30s, this group of gentlemen, and my father was one of the founders of the Walnut Festival, and it was decided at that particular era that it would be nice to have a celebration when the walnuts came in and processed in Walnut Creek, and that started the formation of the Walnut Festival as we know it today. And the idea was to see if we could get, at that particular time, local organizations involved to be part of the event. And it was held on the city park. Booths were built by organizations, service clubs, and organizations of that nature, and people would come and of course buy a hot dog and what have you, and be part of the celebration. And it has grown and grown and grown, and it was at that particular time really involved in the community.